Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Max Verstappen Division, hosted by Lights Out League Racing. And this is Season 2, Race 18 at the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi, based on Yas Island, east coast of Abu Dhabi. And we're at the final, finale, crescendo, summit, whatever you want to call it, the end of the season. And what a season it's been. Long, hard battles, fights to the finish. And Mr. Noodles in the Red Bull is the driver champion, the constructors champion. I don't think there's any way of winning this in this race. He is the all-out champion. His teammate EU Division, who's filling in as a reserve, his actual debut tonight. And but Noodles is the one that holds the crown. And might actually be him who's first out. It is. EU Division. His Max Verstappen Division debut alongside a couple of others. We've got Atsu in the RB. We've got Tasty Spray in the Mercedes. And we've got somebody else who hasn't actually turned up. So those are your debutants for tonight. And yeah, I think... last week's race there was quite a bit of action, but the Coke man, who's not with us this week, he was a cut above the rest, really. There was no real competition for him. He had an extra pit stop to do a fastest lap and was still ended up way ahead of the field. We do have FaZe Walker in the Kick Sauber this week, who came out all second. And it was quite comfortable for him, and Amico, who came third. But what we'll do is jump on for a hot lap with EU Division, and gets that honour as he goes down the start finish straight, run down to turn one. You'll stay wide right so you can turn in late, touch the apex, but run the curve outside. He's very tentative on that first corner, flat out on turns 2, 3 and 4, looking a little bit shaky. I think he must be on a pad unless he drives like a Simpsons character round turn 5, where it's a late turn. Ooh, drifts his back end, drifts around the corner. Not going to be a very good time for this one, but it's going to be a bank lap. Opens up the DRS, where I think one or two might do an overtake, but they're going to be holding back to do it on the next straight. 6 and 7 chicane. Again, where you want to turn in. Big rotation out, turn 7. Again, very tentative on those corners. Open up DRS, round the short little bend. Looks like a bent penis. Of turn 8, but it's not a real corner. And then the new about turn 9, where it's a flowing left-hander. Want to hug that inside and then open out on the exit. Again, very tentative for EU Division. And then a late break on turn 12, where you want to turn in, cut the corner as much as possible. Easy to run wide. Turn 13 and 14. It's very, very sensitive. You might actually want to see people invalidate on the exit. Turn 15 can go flat out, which he is struggling. Final turn 16. You're going to open up the exit, throttle down, and goes to 125.3. It's not a quick time. It will be beaten. And Iwaldi in the Alpine takes that for now. But we'll see one or two take that time quite easily. KMJ, excuse me, behind his teammate. And who else we got in there? Arlinus. We've got Mercedes. Radjay, good drive Radjay, very consistent. Neil's coming in P2, 24.6. Radjay 25.2 for now. There's still plenty of time to find. We've got a couple of Ferraris coming by. As Gio did go P4, but he's beaten by Rick Maru and Geordie in early 24s. Rick Maru sandbagging in the chat, saying he didn't like this track and he was slow. He's not showing that right now. He's talking absolute nonsense. Atsu on his debut for Max Verstappen Division, getting visual P7 for now. We've got one or two runners out on the mediums. And Noodles, Ewaldi and Geordie Doing that for now, saving themselves some soft tyres. Tasty Spray getting up to P7. Provisionally for him. Of course, we're on full qualifying, so position 16th, 17th and 18th will be knocked out. Pipiera coming around the final corner, very fast driver. Currently only P11. Was he held up or did he make a mistake on his first run? Phase Walker here on a set of mediums who actually, if I recall, in Kota last race, he took a risk of going out on mediums and went wide there and was invalidated. He's going to have to go again. We've got our head admin here, Marty, in the McLaren. He's very consistent, very strong. Comes around the final corner, invalidates. Curse of the commentator. So Rick Maru currently holding the P1 slot. Is he going again? Has he got more fuel? He is going again. And there's that stupid updated smoke. Not good at all. Look at that. Look at how shit the graphics are now after that last update. Terrible. Terrible. And it's not my PS5, it's not my TV. My TV is a few years old, but that's terrible. They never learn. This may have held up Geo. Look at that! Look at that frame rate! Absolutely pathetic from Codemasters. Pathetic. Rick Maru comes round turn 9. He's too busy flipping off Codemaster to see if he is up or down. So we'll see how he cracks on. He's still pushing, so he hasn't pulled off. He hasn't let off, so I think he's must be up. He's pushing to the end. Can he get into the 123s? Crosses the line. And does with a 23.9. So sets the early bar. Of course, this is just to get through to Quali 2. As Marty's just coming around again as he's starting another lap. Or is he going to go in? Has he got enough fuel? He does have enough fuel, so he's going again. See how Martin's getting on then. He's doing a lap on mediums as well. Thinks he's got enough pace in him to get through to the next quali session. It was him and Amigo last week in the kicks. Very, very good team play between the pair of them, and the P3 was only decided by penalties between the two. They were racing and working together. It was really good, and he's going in. So I'm going to potentially put a set of softs on. So we will jump on and see how Amigo is getting on with his first flying lap, first time lap. Tasty Spray and Rick Maru know each other. I've raced previously, and Tasty Spray can vouch for Ricky Maru sandbagging. As Amiga comes around the final corner, turn 16, keeps it within the white lines, crosses the line, and goes provisional pole to get through as a 23.7. So shows his pace from last week. Alinus has crossed the line, and Marty gets provisional P2 with a 23.9, so just ahead of Ricky Maru. So as aforementioned, showing some very, very good pace. We've got 8 minutes left. The bottom 3 will be out, and at the moment, FaZe Walker, Martin, and I Am Ghost are there. It's very tight between Alinus and I Am Ghost. Both pretty new to league racing, these pair. And they can tell by their times, and they just need to keep going, keep practicing. And at the moment, Alinus has that say. For some reason, I Am Ghost is going on to mediums. He's not going to improve on his time on mediums, and that's where that inexperience comes in. Going around again. I don't What is that? Look at that. That's absolutely terrible. I'm sorry. This is absolutely terrible from the game. Atsu on a current lap and with 7/10 off. We currently get him to, I think, around P5. Should be a good jump. I think anyone in the 24s is safe, to be honest. As he comes around the final corner and has lost. Did improve. Says improved by 6/10. It hasn't improved that much. Weird. Tasty spray. Down a tenth, so certainly not improving. And he finds some time in the final sector. There's a Red Bull behind him trying to slipstream. You don't want to slipstream too much on a hot lap. If you impede someone's hot lap trying to overtake them, you will be punished yourself. You need to leave a big enough gap, and Tasty spray goes off. Capo Fiero is doing. Filo Fiero, Italian. I'm learning a bit of Italian on Duolingo. Incornetto. Not an ice cream. A croissant. Funny. And he is 1.2 seconds up, so I think he did make a mistake on his first lap. So he's going to be near the top 3. He might even get himself onto the peak position as he's coming around turn 15, around the final corner. Keep it within the white lines. He does, crosses the line and goes P4. But I think he'll be comfortable. So I think anyone in there, anyone definitely mid 24s is safe. And if it was me, I'd just be doing some laps on some mediums if I was safe. Just get some rhythm in, ready for the next quali session. Geordie, P5 in the Aston, doing very well, and he's the highest runner on the mediums. And he's not on a hot lap, he's letting the runners pass. That's just gone over. It was Martin getting himself up to P6, so very comfortable for him on a 24.4. Theo's coming around the final corner. Back end, a little bit wavy, goes up to P5. I think he's safe too. How's the champion doing? Jumping into the pit. P10. Just ahead of his teammate currently. So 4 minutes to go. Jay Ollinus and Iron Ghost all under threat. It's very close with Atsu, Roy McCoy and Tasty Spray. Ollinus is coming around the final corner. He's going into the pits. Mustn't have enough fuel then, so he's going to have to go in and back out again. Unless he doesn't realise that he can go again if he backs off. But Iron Ghost is still persevering on these medium tyres. He'll get a nice slipstream of the car ahead of him, and FaZe Walker has called it a day, thinks he's safe on a 24/7. I'd probably agree. It'll be tight. Look at this terrible. I'm sorry. This is just ridiculous. So he just comes round turn 12. Turns 13, 14, very, very tricky. Easy to go wide on the exit of 14. Flat out on 15. And goes wide, invalidates. That's not what he wanted to do. And I don't think he's going to have enough time now to go in and out again. That's him done, and he will start at the back. And will be out of Quali 1. See how Roy McCoy is doing. He's down on his time. by 7 seconds. So this has got to be an out lap, and he's going to have to go again. He is safe, but it's very tight. There's Ajay and Honest are coming out as well. McLaren coming behind of Marty. Wanted some bragging rights for the first phase of quali. Coming around the final corner. Can he get himself on to P1? And, ooh, that looks almost wide. And he does. 23.2. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And he's showing everybody what he's about. There's J. He's starting his flying lap. He's currently the one in the drop zone. Geordie starts his. At times, yeah, I think Bays Walkers should be safe. That is EU Division who has invalidated. He's got a Mercedes behind him. A Tasty Spray. He's down on his time. He's not going to improve. Who was that though? Who was that though? That was Atsu. Great first quality. He's definitely safe. What can Roy do? He's down. It's going to be twitchy bum time for him. He's going to have to hope that Ajay, he does have time to do another lap if he saves his ERS. He's not going to improve. And he's going to have to go again. Does he have enough battery? And Ajay is up by 6/10. Comes around the final corner and will drop Roy out. And goes up to P12. Tasty Spray is up as well. And Roy has actually retired. And that is him out of the session. What can Arlinus do? He's 2/10 up. He still needs to find another 6. Half a second or 6/10. Looked like he was going wide then, but managed to pull the car back in. He's fighting. He comes round. Geordie getting up to P2 just above his Aston teammate. Round the final corner goes very wide, spins it round, wings off. He's done. He's out of there. And that is a day, and we've lost Roy and Simon Ghost. And Marty currently with bragging rights, half a second over his closest challenger. Will anyone be trying to set a marker, or will they just retire? Quali 1 is over. It doesn't look, he's got a tyre slow. And he'll be trying to do a banking lap. So he goes wide too, so he's not going to, he's going for the pits. That is it. That's it, boys. We have had 1 or 2 impedings, I believe. And it is from Arlinus and I'm a Ghost. Like I said, they're very inexperienced league drivers. They need to learn. But they need to stay out of the way on someone on the hot lap. If they run a hot lap themselves, then fair enough. It's up to the driver behind to leave a big enough gap. Marty showing very, very early pace. He will improve his time. He's 7, the first round of quali. So this is it. First one's through. Marty with a 23.2. Tasty Spray, currently P4. The highest debutants above his mate, Ricky Mara, as I mentioned earlier. All 3 debutants, 4, 5, 6. Great showing from them. Championship winner, P7. And FaZe Walker actually, skin of his teeth, P15. Could have backfired again, but we have lost Roy, Arlinus, and I am Ghost. Head straight on to quali 2. Well, we'll see one or two drivers who have saved some softs. Will anyone risk it? Will FaZe Walker risk it again? He likes living on the edge. And now we're on the top 15. We will lose the bottom 5. And who will we see come out first? It will go down to the wire as the track temperature heats up. It is a dry race. I know we are in the desert, but it doesn't mean we cannot see rain. Anyone in the chat who's watching, you happy? I'll be happy if you keep me company. Say hello. Tell me who you think is showing some good pace. Tell me how you're doing yourself. I like a good bit of chat. And I think it's the Williams of Martin. It's not the Williams of Martin. It's the Alpine of Iwaldi, who I think is letting McLaren by. Piero will be the one taking the lead for quali 2. It's been a few races since he's been on the podium, either through incident, not being quick enough, or missing races. And I'm sure he'll like to finish the season a little bit high. And put himself into good form for next season. Just kick off on the 2nd of December. He's going to look like he's letting 1 or 2 by, but they're all in formation. Still got 1 or 2 in the pit. So what I tend to do sometimes, most of the time for me, I would I'll just go straight out. I want to just get a crack on with it, but I know 1 or 2 like to sit and watch and see how 1 or 2 get on and analyse their competition. And we'll jump on with Piero, who will be looking to compete with his teammate Marty of being up the top as he comes around the final corner to start his first flying lap of quali 2. Crosses the start finish line down to turn 1. Turn in late. Oh, he's back end a bit. You want to touch the curb a bit. Don't ride it too much. Avoid clicking the curves because you could lose your back end, but you do want to go flat out. As we come round down to turn 5 and sector 1 of 17.8. Hello, Marty boy. Hello, Marty boy. Quite Yu-Gi-Oh. Open up that DRS down the first of the long straight, where we may see overtaken to the hard braking zone of turn 6 to 7 chicane. A lot of steering, lots of turn in the first corner, and then good rotation out of turn 7 to open up the throttle. Otherwise you'll be under threat from the car behind with the DRS. Hello! How we doing, boys? Flat out, and then we will see some overtaking going down to turn 9. Ooh. Didn't take that too well. Turned in a little bit too early and forcing wide out of turn 9. Turn 12. You've got some sharp braking. Straddle the curb a little. Turn 13, 14. You can understeer a lot and can invalidate on the exit. Flat out turn 15 and then turning late to turn 16. Open up that throttle, crosses line with a 24 flat, and he clipped straight away by Waldy with a 23.6. So Waldy, great praise from him that he didn't really show. Thanks. Well, you guys have fun as well. Enjoy the last race. It's always a bit of a sad one when the season comes to a close. And especially when there's not that much to play for anymore, considering drivers and constructors are done. As FaZe Walker goes up to P2, doing a lap on softs and not making a mistake as he did last week with the 23.9. Actually coming in with a 24.8. He's validated, so he's not going to be setting a time. Tasty Spray has invalidated also. So his Jizz won't be setting a time now. He jumps in and has to refuel, change his tyres potentially. Who knows? Just Noodles, Tasty Spaces, so just Noodles and Marty's, who are in the chat with me. Only ones in the pits for now. We've got ahead there. We've got ahead there. Gio's got a lot of good amount of speed in his car as well. He's been on the podium a few times, a couple of wins as well. And crosses the line, don't think he set a good time. He's P6. He clips by Geordie on the P2. With 23.7, just behind the wall. So, very good time from him. U-Division out on another lap again. Keep it within the white lines this time. He's coming round, down to turn 9. His light's flashing, so I don't think he's got that much battery, so it's not going to be a fast time at all. It's not fast at all. You can see him creeping round, so he's crawling back to the pits there. So we'll jump on with Martin then. Look like a little bit wide out turn 1. He's utilising the curbs, use as much width as possible. 17.6 after sector 1. Opens up the throttle, open up the DRS down the first of the 2 long straights. And if you do make an overtake down here, you will be yo-yoed on the second straight, as the detection zone is just here. He comes back down again. Round turn 8. Looking very clean lines. Again, maximising as much of the track as possible. I feel going to turn 12 you can go a little bit wider there. You want to take a little bit more curb so you can turn in a bit more and get a bit more speed on the exit. He's coming around flat out turn 15. Round turn 16. Keeps it on the track and goes P2 with a 23.7. So I think he could have found a little bit more time. The U-Division, of course, like I said. He's 14.7, so he's doing another outlap. Still plenty of time to find. And we'll see what he can actually properly do. A little bit loose on traction out of turn 12. Managed to keep it going though. He would have lost a couple of tenths. Turns in early. And stays P11 with 24.9. Marty is on his first flying lap of quali 2. Goes wide, he validates. We love to see it when we catch him on stream doing it. Don't like him doing it, of course. We do want him to set a time, but it's always funny when we get to catch it. And now's his time as Noodles goes provisional P7 with a 24 flat. As we jump on with Mr. Sandbagger, Ricky Maru. Let's see who gets on with his first flying lap. But we will actually keep an eye on Tasty Spray. He invalidated his previous time. And he'll be looking to get up near the top again. 6 minutes to go. And Ajay, EU Division, Ricky Maru, Tasty Spray and Marty are all currently in the drop zone. It will change. Everyone's got at least one more run to go, I think. Tasty Spray will have to go out and back in again if he wants to set another time. I feel the ones that are coming on their outlap now, it might be their last run. As Tasty Spray does cross the line. And only goes P10. He's not going to be safe with that. With a 24.4. Definitely going to be beaten that one, I feel. And he's on the cusp of the drop zone. He's going to have to get back in and back out again straight away. As Ricky Maru comes around turn 15. And yeah, he took a wider line than like I would. Ooh, it looked like he invalidated there, but he didn't. And goes 23.3. He's definitely safe and sets himself a marker. Marty, the only one to set a time now, and it's now or never. I feel for him. And he's got to nail this one. Atsu currently P12, so he is not in the current drop zone. In the final sector. Division jumping on some mediums again. He's not going to be safe if he wants to go down that route. And Atsu did very well in Quali 1. Got himself to P6, I think it was. Can he get himself up into that area again? Crosses the line. P2. 23.5. Wow. P2. He'll be chuffed with that, and he's through. No doubt about it. He's through. Next up, we've got Amigo. He's currently out at the moment. Can he improve in his time, get himself out of the drop zone? He does. Gets himself to P2. Takes the spray straight in. He's got to go in and out. He's invalidated. Ajay is on his final flying lap. He's not going to be doing another one. Although he's flashing, so it's another out lap and then a hot lap again. Yeah, he's coming out now. Now or never for him. Noodles on an out lap. On the cusp. He's not safe by any means. Only 400s between him and Gio in P11. A few more drivers now in the 123s, and we'll see that ramp up. Will we get a 122 in Quali 1? Only time will tell. A great showing from these front three, and I think they'll all potentially retire now. I think anyone potentially in the 123s will be safe. Maybe from Geordie upwards are safe. Geordie's still coming out though. He thinks he still needs to go. But definitely anyone that's 23, mid 23s is safe. Can call it a day. As we'll see how Mr. Admin is doing. He's still in the white lines though. Let's not jinx him. He keeps it in. It looked very tentative. As he comes around the final corner. Crosses the line. And P4 will be chuffed with that. As Rick Murray is 23.2, just ahead of Amigo. Here's Walker on a 10th up. Which will keep him at P8 for now, unless he can find some extra time in the final sector. He's not safe at all. He needs to improve to try and help his course. He does. Goes P2, 23.3. Found plenty of time in that final sector. Wowza. Wowza, wowza, wowza. Who have we got next? Look at his Noodles. He's currently P11 and will be knocked out if he doesn't improve. Oh, bit of loss of traction. Pushing limits as much as possible on turn 12. That would have cost him a little bit of time, but has he banked time earlier on the lap? He hasn't. He's going in the pits, and that is Noodles out of qualifying. Jay's down on his time, so he's not going to improve. He's going in the pits, and he is out. E Division is on mediums. He's not going to improve. And he will be out. Gio, currently fastest time is 24. He's slightly up. It may be enough to get him ahead of Noodles. Tasty Spray is going again. He is ahead, so we'll see how he gets on. Half a second to go, Quali. And this is it now. Now or never. He is up slightly. It's not enough to get him out of the drop zone though. He needs to find a 4/10 in this final sector. And it would be a big shame for him, I think. After showing in quali 1, can he find that extra time he needs? Crosses the line, and he doesn't. He's out. He's P14. That's him done. E division is out. He's done as well. What can Gio's? Gio's invalidated as well, so Gio's out. P12. Invalidated in his final lap. He's done. And we got some big hitters out in quali 2. And Fierro through by the skin of his teeth, just crossing the line. Only half a tenth, sorry. They can get him through, wow. Got Geordie going again, is he setting this? It's not, he's jumping into the pit, so that is a stun for quali 2. E division jumping in again. Crazy. What happened, Noodles? So we'll wait for car to go in. E division's car to get pitted. I'm just having a brew. It's absolutely freezing. The snow's hit. The bloody snow. And there's your formation for quali 2. And Rick Maru takes that top spot with a 23-2. And showing that he's going to be fighting for position. Atsu again showing a good strong pace on his debut. FaZe Walker not taking any risks this time. 5 that are knocked out. Noodles P11, GOP 12, EU Division 13, doing a run on mediums, crazy lad. Tasty Spray 14 and Ajay P15. Pierre Fierro getting through by the skin of his teeth, like I said. Yeah, I was banking on you getting through. I would have thought you would have done it, but when you push in, especially when you've got to do that final hot lap, the pressure's on. And it's really easy to invalidate on this track. And, yeah, unfortunate. Sorry, Gio. It'd be good to see you pushing through the fields, as long as you do it in a nice, respectful manner. All is well. And it's quali 3. Who's going to be on pole? Put it in chat. Who's going to do it? I think it's between 5 or 6 drivers here. I can't call it. I really can't call it. It's going to be an interesting fight to the finish. The pressure is on. And FaZe Walker first out in his shiny vomit green car. And yeah, I can't call it. I really don't know. Marty got the bragging rights, quali 1. Ricky Maru got quali 2. But all drivers here have got pace and they've shown it. Of course, there's some new parts of this track which got updated in 2021, so they're not new anymore, really, to be honest. You've got old turn 5 and 6 chicane and turn 7 hairpin got replaced by that single widened hairpin of turn 5, which has just added some extra speed into the track, the triple chicane in a 90 degrees left-hander. Turns 11 to 14 got replaced by that sweeping bank curve. Now turn 9. And what is FaZe Walker doing? And then these penultimate corners. What are they're having a fight who's going first. But Fiero will have that honour again, so he gets the honour of the hot lap. No, goes on the start finish rate, and I don't know if FaZe Walker wants to pinch some slipstream. It looks like he does. As long as he doesn't mess with Fiero's lap, as he doesn't avoid the curves a lot where you can ride them a bit. You've got to have a bit more faith in your car and confidence in your car. 17.8, so that's not that quick in comparison to some previous sectors. Navigator turn 5 opens up that DRS, and as mentioned, FaZe Walker is right behind and utilising that slipstream uphill Fiero. Very wise but very sneaky, as long as he doesn't impact him. Round turn 6, rotation out of turn 7, rise that curve a bit too much, which will affect his launch off turn 7. DRS open, FaZe Walker's right on his gearbox, and his lap is going to be hampered, and this is the risk that you take. FaZe Walker's not doing very well. You can't be doing that, FaZe Walker. Now you've impeded Fiero's hot lap. Not very sportsmanlike at all, from my point of view. Both come round the line. FaZe Walker at 23 flat, 24.5 from Fiero. I don't think I'll be too happy with FaZe Walker there. Iwaldi coming home with a 23.5. If it was me, I would be absolutely miffed. Atsu currently P3, 24.2. Amigo, 24 flat. Ricky Maru, 22.8. First of the 22s. And saving his pace for quali 3. We've got Marty's just come round turns 13 and 14, doing a lap on mediums to save himself some soft tyres for the race. Comes round the final corner, so he won't be too near the top. Currently P4 with a 24 flat, so decent time, slightly ahead of MFR Amigo, but saving himself, like I said, those tyres. As Martin's coming round the final couple of corners. Crosses the line and gets himself currently provisional P7. We've got Geordie on his first flying lap and invalidates. Just misses the pit lane as well. Fuming. I'd be fuming. We've got KMJ then last on a current hot lap. Round turn 30. Loses back end. Managed to keep it out of the wall, but will not be setting a time on this lap. So we'll have to dive back in and come back out on a new set. So currently Ricky Maru just ahead of FaZe Walker in P2 and Iwaldi in the Alpine P3. Bit more pace to find there from Marty. Still needs to jump on those softs. He needs to find 1.2 seconds to get himself on pole. What a time that was. I think that's a good 2 or 3 tenths fastest time we've seen. Let's see Martin again, who's coming into the pits now. And Geordie validates again, pushing himself to go into the pits. He'll be absolutely livid. I'm invalidated on the last corner and then missing the pit lane. Wasting some time. But he's managed to get himself in now. Ricky Maru coming round. Final sector and we'll be jumping into the pits. He's not, he's doing another time. I should shut my mouth. He's doing another time. It's not as quick though. Unless he's doing another, no, I think he's just doing a second run. Seeing if he can improve with a little less fuel. But we'll be diving in now for some fresh tyres. He's been on the calendar, this one, since 2009. Contracted until 2030. And has pretty much been the crescendo of the race season. And we've seen plenty of action here in the past. And I'm sure one or two Mercedes fans will not want me to mention him, and I will not, out of respect. It'll start an absolute argument. Formula One's first ever event though was in 2007, the F1 Festival. It announced that the GP was going to go ahead in 2009. And has been a staple ever since. A high downforce speed track, so it'd be interesting to see what people's setups are. I think a lot will be maximising the straights, as it's difficult to overtake through sector 3 and sector 1. Sector 1 is only a couple of corners really. It was only turn 1 really, which is the corner where you can gain and or lose a lot of time. The rest are all flat out, so it's if you I think if you want to maximise your place on track, it is setting your car up for the high speeds of the straights. Yeah, I think it was mentioned in the chat between Palafiero and FaZe Walker. And as I mentioned with FaZe Walker, he started his lap a bit too close to Palafiero, trying to maximise the slipstream. And it is very powerful. And there was no doubt he was going to catch up, so he should have really started a little bit behind. And if he caught up to him, you can't overtake. If someone is on a hot lap, and he knew that he was on a hot lap, so it's a little bit naughty. But I'm sure they'll sort it out in chat. He's coming round sector 3. It's his final run, and he's the first one to do a final run. He might have enough time to go down and do a cool down and then another hot lap. It depends how much fuel he's got in his car. Comes round the kind of corner. He's not going to improve though. So it's best to do a cool down and start again. And Marty will be the lead car doing his final run out of the final batch. FaZe Walker still in the pits. He's leaving it late. Is he coming out again? His car's not moving. I think it's a little late now. He's not going to make it round. So if that's FaZe Walker done. So the highest he's going to be finishing, starting his P2. He's coming out, but he's not going to make it round. He's run out of time. He's come out too late. As Marty is just over a tenth up. And he needs to find at least half a second to get himself into the top 3. But of course he's doing his first run on softs. And we'll find lots of time in that final sector. With plenty more grip on the softer compound. Open up the DRS past turn 8. And the end of sector 2. And it'll come up to 3/10 up, so has found a bit more time. But like I said, the time is to be found in this final sector, where traction is key, and these soft tyres will play their part. Coming around turn 13 and 14, where it's slightly off camber and it's easy to lose control and lose your back end, where we've seen one or two cars do that. round the final corner. Where's he going to be finishing? Crosses the line. P3, 23.2, that's the highest he's going to be. Baby Walker's coming round, but he's out. His car's in the wall, that's him done. And I told you. I bloody told you so. So here's Martin. He's coming first, going to be the next one to cross the line. In the final sector. These times are going to be pinging now, and we're going to be seeing real times. He's gone a little bit wide, that's going to cost him. I don't think he's going to improve much, I'll be surprised. Crosses the line, and he doesn't improve. Piero does get a P7, but gets him dropped down again by Iwaldi. No, he's not Iwaldi. It's Amigo, P2. What can Ricky Maru do? He is up on his time. He's slightly ahead, so Amigo did as much as he can, got himself into 122s as well. But Ricky Maru is going to eclipse his time with a 22.7, blow it out of the park. He absolutely sandbagged in chat. He absolute chat shit in chat. And he's taken pole on his Max Verstappen division debut. And anyone that's in Discord chat, give him absolute shit for sandbagging, because he's absolute cooled it. As actually couldn't improve in his time and ended up going straight into the pits. I'm just waiting for his car to rectify itself. And that's it. What a lap that was. Andy Fair in quali 1, he saved his pace best to last and just absolutely dominated. And this is your grid. The Norwegian Ricky Maru, P1 with a 22.7, and Amiga joining him on the front row. FaZe Walker and Marty on the second row. Iwaldi and Geordie, 5 and 6. 5th and 6th, 5 and 6th. I can't even speak English, it's my national language. Atsu P7, KMJ Gaming P8, Pilafiero, what could have been for him actually, P9, and round off the top 10, Martin, the only one in the 24s. So we will be taking a few short minutes break while everyone has a quick toilet break. So I will put you on hold. We shall see you at 1/4 the hour. See you in a couple of minutes. And we're back, and we're back, and we're back. And yeah, I think one or two drivers now just sorting out their setups, ready for the race. It will be a dry race. And for me, a strategy call would probably be mediums to hards. One or two might do the alternate strategy. One or two that have saved their soft tyres from quali might be trying to utilise them. But you don't want to be pitting too often. It's 22 seconds in the pit lane. If we do see a safety car, you save yourself about 7 seconds. So reason you don't save as much is because you have that pit lane exit under the start-finish straight. So not as much of a benefit under a safety car, but any benefit is some benefit. Whoever's in chat, let me know who you reckon's going to win. We'll be getting underway in very shortly. You're going to have to pin it down on Ricky Maru to take that win with the pace that he's shown, but quali pace and race consistency are two totally different things. And I'm going to put Marty on the podium, and I am going to put FaZe Walker on the podium as well. I'm going to go, yeah, Ricky Maru, FaZe Walker, and Marty as my top three. And we're just getting underway with the formation lap, where some drivers will be warming up their tyres. We'll have a look and see who's on what strategy. So most people have gone on the mediums, and just one or two starting on the hards. And for the alternate strategy, the front three all starting on the hards, so thinking their pace is going to be good enough to have that advantage in the second stint. Pilafiero and Tasty Spray doing the same. The Marina circuit, 5.2 kilometres, anti-clockwise circuit, 16 corners, 9 to the left, 7 to the right. 2 DRS zones, both down the big long straights with the chicane of turn 6 and 7, splitting them apart. And we will see plenty of overtaking. As mentioned, Ricky Maru currently in the pole and has raced away from everyone. So if he carries on at this pace, he's going to be sitting on the grid a long time with his tyres not being to temperature. Joining him on the front row, MFR Amigo, FaZe Walker, P3, who's not wasting any time himself. Marty, P4. Iwaldi, P5. Georgie joining him on the third row. And Silent Assassin, who tends to get himself in decent positions out of nowhere. Atsu P7 on his debut. Good showing from him. KMJ P8, Pilafiero P9, and Martin P10. Needles P11. Nice to see these drivers again after missed him out of quali sessions. Joined on the 6th row by Gio. Disqualified. EU Division 13. Tasty Spray 14. Teammate right behind him, Ajay P15. Roy McCoy P16. Artemis and Army Ghost coming together, and we'll be on the grid already starting at the back. As everyone jumps into their grid slot. Green flag's already flying, but they're not ready yet. And that Mercedes just the last one to jump in. And it's 194 metre run down to turn 1. It's going to be tight, and I think we're going to see a bit of carbon fibre. But let's hope we don't see anything too chaotic, as it's lights out, and away we go. And Ricky Maru has got a good launch of the line. A little bit of a shake from Amigo, and FaZe Walker's looking on the outside of turn 1, but the door's closed. Marty drives into the back of it, of the driver in P2. Managed to keep his position. It's very congested, but the front four now pulled away. Atsu's up to P5. Biggest winner, Tasty Spray, the biggest loser, down to P17. As all drivers look like they're getting underway again. It can be quite congested. It looks like there's plenty of room left by all drivers. As I Am Ghost goes really wide, and Atsu staying in P5. It's a great showing from him. And Pierre Fiero up to P6. He'll be happy with that early start. Faze Walker getting ahead of Amigo after the first straight. And we've got a yellow flag. It's Iron Ghost. He's lost his back end. And there's already a penalty for Iwaldi. Down to P9. Battling with Geordie. Geordie's on the inside of turn 9. And gets taken by KMJ Gaming. Block behind, going through the final sector. Amigo and Scarty just clashing with wheels, and that's Amigo who's the one that's come worse off coming out of turn 14. It's hard to battle side by side through those corners, especially when it's slightly off camber. So kind of keep going. P12, plenty of the race to go. 29 lap race, and we're on lap 2. DRS is activated now. As the front two are out of DRS zone from Marty, having that little battle with Amigo. And he's got a train behind him all the way down. Oh, it's down to Noodle now as Iwaldi's gone out, but Iwaldi's got a train behind him. Will Faze Walker look to take Ricky Maru, or will they work together to try and pull away from the pack? And he's got that race know-how. As Geordie takes a look on the inside of turn 6, just slots behind. And Tasty Spray takes 2 and loses 2. Where's his car? Trying to take position on turn 6 when the move wasn't there. Martin jumping above his teammate, and the teammates of Alpine swapping places as well. KMJ up to P7, great start from him. The drivers are now settled. It's just 1 or 2 who need to pick their moments. Faze Walker get early penalty, and that will hamper his podium challenge. Adji up to P11, managed to overtake MFR Amigo coming out of turn 13. Atsu up to P4. The fastest lap of 26.2. So now he's settled. He'll be looking to challenge for that podium. Front two pulling away slightly. Marky trying to stay. We've got another yellow flag, and it's Iron Ghost coming out of turn 16. Struggling with that traction. He's one of these drivers that he knows that he's not going to, and Ferrari or Valens going really wide as Geordie managed to make the overtake on Iwaldi, going down to turn 6. Iwaldi trying to take the position back, not the place to do it on the inside of turn 6. It's a very tight turn in, and it's always going to end up a cropper as Faze Walker does take the position up to P1. Atsu as well, getting himself up to P3 ahead of Marty. Marcy going a little bit wide, nearly clashing into his teammate. Pilifiero on the outside of turn 12 with S, the slot behind. And Noodles has quietly got himself up to P6 as well as Amigo. On turn 12, it does have position. The Wally's going to have to slot behind and fight back another day. McLaren's looking very strong. RBs are looking strong now as Gio's got himself up to P8. I think we'll see a swap of positions in a minute again. As we're on lap 4 coming out of sector 1 with the front two. Got a 2-second lead ahead of P3. Who's going to be under threat, and KMJ making a move on Noodles. I think Noodles has disconnected, so I just need to invite him. There he has. I've just sent one, now I've sent my Noodles. Ah, shame. That's Piero. We've got a yellow flag. Coming out of turn 7. Looks like it's Aston Martin Amigo, and I think he's had another incident. And we've welcomed him back again. Iwaldi making the move on Martin down to turn 9. Martin's going to fight back though on turn 10, and he does. The Williams driver slips back ahead. Iwaldi's just going to try and take the position back again on turn 12, but it cannot. Ricky Maru has got P1 back, and both the McLarens have got past Atsu. This will be an interesting battle for P3. Gio now at P6 past Geordie. Coming out of turn 16, don't see overtakes often there. Oh, and Gio pushing hard, coming out of turn 1, loses his back end, and that's cost him as he got wing damage. Oh, I think he's gutted about that. He said, well, he does have wing damage. Again, it's early on in the race as Roy gets past Martin. RJ. He does lose a couple of positions, get himself back into a rhythm after disconnecting. He's lost Martin coming out of turn 5. I think he's lost traction. And Noodles has called it a day. He's retired on track. Don't really like. And has that caused a safety car or a VSC? It hasn't. Noodles is out. What Noodles can do if he wants to, he could potentially join in commentary if he wanted to. As Atsu gets himself up to P3, ahead of Pilafiero and Marty. KMJ up to P7. Ajay trying to fight back. He's on the outside turn 12, has to avoid collision, but has to slot behind. Great battle between those two. Iwaldi and Roy right on their gearbox as well. Very close racing. Something's happened to Marty. Jumps into the pits now. He's a couple of seconds behind his teammates, so I think he's had a bit of an issue. Has he got damage? He doesn't. He's switching on some tyres, so I think he's had a bit of an issue and he's making an early call to switch from the hards. Get himself into some clean air. What happened? What happened, what happened, Noodles? Let me know. Come speak to me. And then Marty will come out ahead of Roy. And into P14. Some clear air. Sorry, man. It's a shame. It's been the last one. It would be nice to have a good send-off. Right side, though, you are championship winner. And you get to watch the race in your armchair, have a drink, have a whiskey. Ajay getting ahead of KMJ. Down to turn 9, great overtake from him. And Martin and Tasty Spray. Tasty Spray staying ahead, just coming round the outside of turn 9. And Martin has to slot behind. Great defending from Tasty Spray on those hards. Sierra has got Atsu for company. Yeah, EA and Cody Masters need their heads banging together. KMJ and Ajay battling out of turn 16. Again, you don't really see overtaking there, so them battling hard is quite interesting. Gio and EU both going into the pits. EU coming out onto the hards. Gio is getting rid of that wing and having to jump on the mediums. He's going to have to be doing a 2-stop. Yeah, you can always come and join in the combat if you want, mate. Be quite interesting. As Gio's coming out, he will come out ahead of I Am Ghost. EU Division has come out ahead of Olinus. But Gio will have to be doing a 2-stop. And Ricky Maru has consolidated his place in P1. He's pulled out of DRS from FaZe Walker, who does have that 3-second. KMJ up to P6. Another penalty for Marty. Marty, I'll put you on the podium, mate. What are you doing getting penalties? You're not going to be podium with penalties. KMJ up to P6. He had a bit of a torrid time at Kota last week. I'll be happy with his current run in P6. He's got Ajay for company, who didn't have the greatest of qualifying and would have got himself a track limits there as well. It's up to P7. Happy with that. Happy with that. Piero having a great battle here with Atsu. This is a fight for the podium for P3. As Martin is now in the pits, getting off those mediums, so is the tyre wear not that great? Or are they just trying to get into some clear air? Roy McCoy in the pits as well, getting off those mediums. E-Division coming round turn 1. Will Martin get ahead? Don't think he will. Ooh, it almost looked like he clipped the wall then. E-Division up to P12. Olin's coming around turn 1. Martin will come out ahead. And behind E-Division, as Pierre Fiera gets ahead of Atsu. Down to turn 9. And it is the most, is the best opportunity to get past somebody and retain the position. Gio ahead of Olinus. I don't think Olinus would have battled that too hard. Gio has DRS as well, coming down to turn 6, so his place is safe. Olinus will have DRS. Coming out of turn 7, if he can keep with him. Didn't take that corner well, he won't have DRS. Did not take that entry well and climb the curve too much, so we'll just have to try and nick some slipstream in. FaZe Walker again, another penalty for him. And causes a safety car. We'll have to watch that back in slow-mo. Did he give himself a penalty and then force a safety car? Or was it loss of traction coming out of turn 2? But the safety car is out. And it'll be a cheap pit stop as E-Division jumps in again to get off those hards. There's no reason to jump off those hards. Amigo jumping in and coming out on mediums. They're not going to go for 20 laps, I'll be surprised. Depends how their tyre wear is going to be. Olinus jumping in as well. FaZe Walker out of the race, so one of my podium predictions is out of the race. We do have a safety car, so it will be 15 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, he does suck big balls. Big balls of fire. Who else is going in? So Ricky Mari does go in. Sierra does go in. Atsu goes in. KMJ will have to go in. Makes sense. Ajay in. Tasty Spray has a little bit of a gap. I think he'll. Ah, what are you doing, Iron Ghost? What are you doing? How have you done that? Everyone is jumping in. Geordie has not. He's carrying on as he has only just pit. Can he get ahead? I think Atsu will stay ahead in P3. But Geordie staying out for position. Marty pit 4 laps ago, so he's going to take track position. Ah, Roy McCoy, Italian hand gesture. Speeding under the safety car. Oh, for God's sake. KMJ's P6, so Tasty's and Iwaldi coming out the pits now. And we'll take P8 and P9 as the division. Martin and Amiga. So everyone is kind of reset as we wait for Olinus to catch up to the safety car. So we might see this and another lap go round. Your sarcastic tone, FaZe Walker, suggests that you might have span on purpose. Yeah, we'll see. There's more people with. No, I ain't got time, mate. If we restart it, what are people? I don't know what people are doing here in regards to having collisions with people. Why are people having collisions with people? It's a basic what's everybody doing here? The world is going in. The pits again. He's switching his tyres. He's serving his penalty now, which actually is quite wise. Serve your penalty under the safety car and reduces. He's got wing damage. So they have been colliding under the safety car. Absolute ridiculous. No, I wouldn't. I haven't got time to myself to do a restart. And yeah, like you said, it's not fair on the ones that nothing's affected. I don't think anyone's been affected by anything. FaZe Walker crashed off on his own, either choice or error. And I'm Ghost as inexperienced and has done something wrong, and the game's punished him for it. Well, let's leave it as it is. It's the end of the season. No one's benefiting from anything if we start again. It's not like we're racing for the championship. So let's just finish it off and then start fresh. Waldy now catching up, serves his penalty. Silly people pushing around under the safety car and colliding with each other. It's just ridiculous. But we go again, and safety car is in this lap. So Ricky Maru will be holding up the pack. Felicio finds himself now in P2, Atsu P3, Geordie P4, Marty does have the penalty, P5, KMG 6, Adley 7, Tasty Spray P8, E Division 9 and Martin top 10, Migo P11, Geo 12, Roy 13, Olinus 14 and Eroldi at the back. We've got 18 laps to go, and Ricky Maru, it's not a big run down to turn 1. He goes now already. Pilifiero slightly caught off guard, but has managed to stay within him, within a decent time of him. A bit of a gap after Marty. And they're away. No one's caught too much. Ajay right on the gearbox of KMJ. And might be looking to make an opportunity. Overtake E-Division around the back of Tasty Spray as well. Waldy already passed Olinus. I don't think Olinus battled that too hard. Ajay does manage to get past KMJ before turn 5. Up to P6. Good chuff with that. Can Pilifiero stay with Ricky Maru? Slightly gets out of the slipstream. Geordie takes a look. DRS won't be activated now to the next lap after the safety car. Everyone looks like they're through safe and sound. And the front 5 have broke free already from P6. E-Division making a move on Martin, but Martin defending well on turn 9 and keeps his position. Great driving from Martin. E-Division has to brake without sliding in the back of his gearbox on turn 12, but he's looking racy. As we start lap 13, lucky for some, as Amigo now overtakes EU Division. He's lost a couple of places. I think he's had a bit of a collision as the Waldy's ran his gearboxer now. Amigo forcing his way past Gio, driving with his elbows out, and Gio's now got Roy for company. I think Gio will try and battle back for that one. As a look on the inside of turn 5, left quite a lot of space there from Amigo. Gio forces him wide though. Not great racing from Gio, and Roy takes the position from Amigo. Waldy past the division. Geordie and Atsu battling as we're coming out of turn 7. Geordie round the gearbox of Atsu and we'll have DRS as the front 2 broke free. Geordie pulls out the slipstream. Marty trying to follow through as well, and Atsu loses 2 places. Marty having a look on the outside of Geordie. Out of turn 9. As we're going into turn 10, he'll have to slot behind. They're side by side. Into turn 12. Marty's got the inside. Will he have traction going into turn 13? And so great driving there. Great respect from him and Geordie. I'm glad he gets himself a penalty. The track limits. And Marty up to P3. Very, very, very good racing between those two. Filippiero sticking with Ricky Maru and getting himself the fastest lap. Roy taking Amigo as Roy actually jumps into the pits. Has he got damage? He does. He lost his end plate. So he's going to have to come off and jump onto some mediums and change his wing. Filippiero in the puff of imaginary smoke. Just out of DRS. Does he have it? He does. So he's going to stick with Ricky Maru. Marty's going to be under threat from Geordie and Atsu. Will Geordie take a look going into turn 6? He has a look. He is on the inside. Side by side. It's very tight. You're easy to lose a wing if you try and commit there. And we'll give it another go going down to turn 9. He's got that slipstream. Marty's not going to fight it too hard. Knows that there's plenty of race to go. Geordie has the inside of turn 9. Atsu follows through on the outside. Almost sandwiched there, Marty. Geordie went almost off track on the inside and put himself offline. Has to sacrifice positions. And Atsu up to P3. Marty almost sandwiched between those. P3 and P5. Wow. And KMJ loses traction on turn 12. Ricky Maru taking that fastest lap has broken the DRS from Filippiero. And we now look to dominate. And put some lap times in. He's a couple of tenths through the first sector already. That's a big battle here for P3. We've got a yellow flag. And it's a VSC. Who've we lost? Got KMJ in the pit lane, who's going to be capitalising on their pit stop and changing his wing because he doesn't have one. Who've we lost? Was it Olinus? And KMJ is out. KMJ is out. I think he crashed out. You need to be retiring in the pits, KMJ. You can't be doing it on track. He had a bit of a spin on turn 12 and I think he's got a red mist. BSC is ended. DRS enabled. No one's got a speeding penalty. Martin is at the front of this train. Currently P7. Sorry, behind Ajay. Now he's P6. We've lost 4 cars, lap 15, halfway through. And Ricky Maru has a 3-second advantage over Ricky Maru now. And with the 3 cars battling behind, Filippiero has a comfortable 4-second gap to them as Martin now makes that move on Ajay into turn 1. Brave move there, and Ajay saw him coming and left him plenty of room. These drivers will look to work together to try and get themselves up this grid past Martin, and they've got Amigo and the Aston in tow. Will anyone try and make a move down to turn 6? Martin trying to break the slipstream, does the 2 moves. Very good defending from Martin, but Ajay gets himself up to P6. It'll be under threat now. Yellow flag, and it's Olinus in the Ferrari struggling. A little bit of wheel banging as the Mercedes now gets past Martin as well. Olinus losing traction turn 5 as well. Mercedes drivers need to not battle too hard. You don't want to come together. You've got to work together to defend against the cars behind you. Ajay is again the leader of this pack. Marty currently P3. but does have those penalties. And we'll hope that the guys behind will get some too. Atsu is on currently in this position, a podium on his Max Verstappen division debut. Ricky Maru the same, will get a win, not just a pole but a win, and he's pulling away 5.2 seconds, showing his pace. Tasty Spray will not be liking that, getting himself a track limit penalty on the exit turn 5. So Geordie, oh, bit of a collision there with Geordie, who goes off track. And it's getting a little bit tasty now. Geordie gets himself a track limits as well, which Marty would have been hoping for. Couple of collisions all in one go. I couldn't keep up with it. We're actually now in prime position for that podium. Martin and Tasty Spray both getting track limits. Amigo coming P8 in a good position to jump up places on penalties. Whoa! I didn't mean that, I'm sorry. Sorry. We're Manchester, aren't we? Sorry. 6.6 seconds. Ricky Mari just pounding in those laps now. He doesn't want to do too much, otherwise he's don't want to keep your tyres to the end. Same with Piero. Actually should have no problem on those hards. Marty did pit 4 laps earlier. He's still got to do another 10 laps or so. It's going to be a should have enough, but might be a struggle. And apart from this 3 now, the paps have broken as Amigo gets himself at 2.7 past Tasty Spray. Tasty Spray spots behind and will look to retake the position. Look, a bit of a wiggle there from Amigo, losing traction off turn 7. DRS is open for Tasty. Is it going to be a Tasty move? He's not close enough. Enough battery there from Amigo. And I think I need a bit of battery. Have a sip of my brew. I've got cold feet. It's freezing. Lovely. I love myself a coffee. You know when you're like really, really thirsty and then you manage to just have like a big few gulps? That was me. So like that. Right. 8.5 seconds now. It's just, yeah, he's on a league of his own now. Piero, 2 second gaps. The gap's closed slightly here to Axel and the cars behind. It was 3.5. As Roy gets past the Waldy, he's just coming out the pits now. A yellow flag. I think that's Olinus. It's Olinus on turn 7. He's getting lapped. Has to move out the way. Struggling today, Olinus. As I mentioned earlier, he's very new and inexperienced and just needs to be racing and practice, and he will find his rhythm. Gio battling down that turn 9. Adji currently having the advantage over Gio. And Bryn has lost a bit of time with his teammate ahead, so I think Adji's had a bit of an issue. As Pierre is in the pit. And I think, will he be going on to some softs or another set of mediums? Another set. The jumpers are hard, so interesting call. Will he? Does that mean that a lot of drivers will be having issues with tyre wear? Gio's in after getting the track limits, Amigo's in. Both of them going on mediums. Is tyre wear absolutely crap on this? Or is it they're just wanting to do a fastest lap or something. But what that does do, currently promotes Atsu up to P2, 11.7 seconds behind Ricky Maru. He does have Marty and Geordie for company, who will be looking to overtake, and Marty does on the outside. And so overtake from him, more Geordie looks to be taking position as well. He's got Olinus all in his grill. Olinus just needs to move out of the way and stop being a nuisance. You don't need to be racing these. Just move out of the way. There we go. Good lad. And Martin now P2. And what he wants is he needs to break away. If he wants this P2, he needs to break away out of the penalty range. As Atsu, as Ricky Maru's in the pits as well. That's interesting. That must be a two-stopper. Must be a two-stopper. I did not think it would be, but Taiwan must be absolutely shocking. So he comes out just ahead of Ajay into P5, and has plenty of tasty sprays in as well. Come out some fresh mediums. Noodles is the driver champion and the constructors champion as well. Marty and Atsu battling into the turn 6-7 chicane, with Geordie watching. Amigo taking Roy McCoy, and Marty keeps the position, turns into did not see the car there. I think he tried to turn into space that wasn't there, and he's come a cropper. Yeah, he did not see the car there, and the car ahead did not have to concede. He turned into the car himself, and it's dropped down to P5. He'll be a bit gutty for that, but that again. Now Atsu now takes the lead of the race. Got 7 laps to go, doesn't have to pit. Gio in the RB. Taking EU division, turn 9 and 10. Banging wheels going through turn 14. Can easily lose it as Piv Vieira gets ahead of Adju, who's gone into the pits and on some fresh mediums. And will come Ricky Mara getting past Martin out turn 5. Amigo ahead of Ajay as he's coming out the pits, and Ajay actually comes out. 13. Quite a few places. Geordie fighting for P1 here. Ricky Maru closing in, and we'll try and look and get a fastest lap and get the trifecta. Gio will look to try and overtake Iwaldi down to turn 6. DRS will be open. Like a letterbox, you've got mail. Saving it for the run out of turn 7, down to turn 9. Don't think he's close enough. Could be wrong. He is closing in. Goes on the outside. Waldy defends his inside line. Gio went really, really wide. Looking on the inside of turn 10. Turn 11 has to slot down turn 12. Very good driving there. And we've lost Marty coming out of turn 15. Did he turn in late for I think he turned in late for the pit stop. Lost traction, and he is an old hard and does have to switch. Going on to some fresh softs. Got damage, and so he won't be on the podium, but can he have that fastest lap? Geordie now takes the lead of the race, side by side with Atsu. Atsu defending hard and lose it. Yeah, it's always going to end in tears. No yellow flag, which is Atsu going off. Bit of carbon fibre gone flying. He should have just slopped behind Geordie and taken him down the straight down to turn 9, but tried to defend it. And now has Martin for company. And what could have been an easy podium for him, not anymore. Ricky Maru around the gearbox to Geordie. Don't think Geordie's going to defend this too much. Knows that it isn't his race as Gio gets himself up to P7 side by side with Iwaldi. Coming out of turn 9. Quite a bit of space left. Gio is ahead though, and Iwaldi has to slot behind. Very good driving from those pair. Can always end in tears. Ricky Maru saving himself for the DRS to get past Geordie. As Martin gets past fighting Atsu in turn 5. As mentioned, Ricky Maru does go past Geordie, slots behind. Will Martin look to overtake? Martin does go ahead on turn 6. Geordie would try and fight back, but I don't think he'll have enough life in his tyres to do so. And will stay behind. You can see he hasn't got enough battery either. Ricky Maru will stay ahead and the lead of the race. Martin's going to be defending from Atsu. Atsu's on the inside of turn 9. There's plenty of room. A little bit too much room, but Martin managed to defend that well, which he's done quite a few times during this race. And stays in P3. Great racing from him. Iwaldi just ahead of Gio. He managed to get into the outside, but Gio on the second one. Plenty of space left again. A little bit of wheel banging. There's plenty of track, lads. Iwaldi staying ahead, but Gio's doing what he did last lap. On the inside of turn 12, side by side. Still side by side through 13. It could be tears out of 14 and still side by side. Great racing, still side by side out of 15. And Gio is ahead. Great driving from them. Normally you get drivers that concede quite early on one of those corners, but they both were committed. And Gio's ahead. That has brought both Mercedes drivers in play on from fresher mediums. And it's now a 4-car battle. And we'll make that interesting. Marty getting that fastest lap. Bragging rights. Martin ahead. Going into turn 6 and 7. Atsu, will he concede? Or will he end up spinning again? He goes ahead. Martin slots behind. And will look to try and retake the position. Going down to turn 9. Has a look on the inside. Martin has the inside line, but better traction off the corner for Atsu out of turn 9. And he leaves slots ahead. Gio and Iwaldi again. As the two Mercedes are fighting. Gio ahead in the inside of turn 9. I don't think Iwaldi can defend too much as Ricky Maru ends up getting the fastest lap on his mediums with a 25.3. Iwaldi pushing Gio around the corner of turn 12. Battling to the death, these two. 3 laps to go. And I think positions may come down to penalties. We've got a yellow flag. We've lost Roy McCoy coming out of turn 14. It's an easy place to lose it. Easy loss of traction as he jumps into the pits on those old hards. Looks to jump on some fresh softs. As Marty now takes speed in the pit lane. No! Italian hand gesture. And he retires. And he retires in the pit lane. Thank you very much, Roy. And if he didn't, being part of the FIA team, and he'll get a nasty slap on the wrist. As Martin currently has P3. Iwaldi and Gio battling hard again, going down to turn 6. Gio have DRS coming out of turn 7. He's got great traction as well, so it should be an easy enough move. Ricky Maru getting himself a track limits penalty, which will make it a bit of a twitchy bum time for him. As Gio then starts ahead, going around turn 9. Very easy move for him. Tasty spray following suit as well. Adji will be trying to fight back, coming round out of turn 9 into turn 10. But Tasty Spray stays ahead. All the while here, Pilafiero closing in on P3 and P4. 1.8 seconds behind, 2 laps to go. Can he join in the battle? and get himself in contention for the podium. This will make it an interesting last couple of laps. He's already gained 2 lengths out of sector 1. 2 tenths out of sector 1. He's on a good 10 lap fresher tyres. This could make it tasty. It potentially rules Martin out with his penalty, but Atsu does not have any, so it'll be track position he'll be fighting for. And he needs to kind of get in into DRS range. As Iwaldi and Gio battling again as Iwaldi's ahead down turn 6. Gio's skidding on those fresher mediums. We'll have better traction after turn 7, round turn 8, DRS open. And round the outside this time. And they're to and fro like a yo-yo, these pair. And Gio will have track position going through sector 3. Fiera now 1.4 seconds behind. We're on the penultimate lap. Ricky Maru ahead of Geordie, who's got track position, and he stayed out, and to his own benefit has stayed out. And let's have a quick look at penalties. He's got 13 seconds, so he's got 3 seconds more. He needs to keep that gap ahead of Martin, and the cars behind. It could be a fight for P2 here. I can't call it. I can't call it. Any one of these top 5 could be P2. And as we speak, Martin's got within that 3-second range, and him and Atsu. So it could be Atsu going for P2. And he'll be absolutely chuffed with that. But on his debut, as again, Iwaldi and Gio switching places. Atsu and Martin switching places, and Atsu up to P3. Has made that stick. And Pelifiero's almost there, almost within a second. Can he come into play and try and get himself on that podium? Gio back ahead of Iwaldi, up to P7. You guessed it, turn 9. We're on the final lap. Ricky Maru's on his final lap. 11.5 seconds ahead. He cannot complain. And Pelifiero is now in DRS range. And he's just, I think, just outside a podium position, if my maths are correct. And he'll be looked to be fighting now. We come round turn 5 for the last time. DRS will be open. Atsu will be under threat from both Martin and Pelifiero. Geordie's 2.5 seconds ahead. All he's got to do is just focus on his own race. He chose it out. Pelifiero having a look on the inside of turn 6. There's plenty of room by Atsu. And Martin has better traction off the corner with his fresher tyres. Martin cannot defend that. You just have to hope he can get past Atsu on the track, as Pelifiero will get past Atsu with DRS on the inside of turn 9. Fresher tyres. And he's managed to fight back with an earlier incident. Atsu having a look on the outside of turn 10, defended well from Pelifiero. Great drive from him, and he will actually easily take. Already back in as well out of turn 9. And congratulations to Ricky Maru. I've missed his line because of his battling, but on his Max Verstappen League debut, getting himself a win, fastest lap and pole. Pelifiero up to P2 and Atsu P3 on his debut. Great, fantastic racing. Geordie P4 would be happy with that. Decided to stay out. Unfortunate penalty with the collision under the safety car. Martin P5 with his penalties. Amigo P6. Adji getting himself up to P7 with penalties. Gio P8. Tasty Spray P9. Iwaldi P10. Marty coming round on his final lap. And will be the last one to finish. And tried for the fastest lap. Had incident. And as we watch Olinus lose control again, it's always funny to watch drivers do that. See Marty come round the final corner. for the final time for Season 2. Congratulations to all drivers. Crosses the line. As that's just surely it. As we wait for Olness to come round. Come on, my guy. As he does it. There we go. And there we have it. Who were the game give driver of the day? I'd have to give it to one of the top two. Ricky Martin. I might give it to Martin, but I'll give it to Ricky Maru. Just complete dominance. Once FaZe Walker had gone, and you were expecting that, you little shit. It's a lovely way to spend the evening, of course, but you knew you had that pace, you sneaky monkey. And there's your podium. There's your podium areas on the top step. Pilifiero P2 and that's your P3. And we'll go through your order for the final time of Season 2. Ricky Maru on the top step. Clean sweep for the whole of the weekend. Pole fastest lap with a 1:25.1 and your race win by 12.5 seconds. Pilifiero fight back from P9. A little bit of adversity as well. Got himself up to P2. Atsu P3. A great showing from him on his Max Verstappen debut as well. Martin P4 from P10. He'll be happy with that. What could have been for him without his penalty. Amigo P5. Actually, P6 from P15. Great showing from him. And Gio as well. Again, penalties. His nemesis. Tasty Spray P8. Tasty Spray P8 on his debut. Solid performance from him. Waldy, great battling from him with Gio to the end, but his penalties let him down. Marty P10, Geordie 11, EU Division P12, Honest 13, Roy, KJ, FaZe Walker, Noodles, and I'm Ghost, all calling it a day. And speaking of calling it a day, we're calling it a season, folks. Season 2's finished. It's done. What are we going to do? It's been such a fantastic season, and congratulations to Noodles. Congratulations to him for his Drivers' Championship. Very consistent, always fighting near the top, and has been awarded for his efforts, and along that with the Red Bull Constructors. Season 3 starts 2nd December at the Netherlands, and of course it starts at the Netherlands. It's a Dutch Discord, it's a Dutch championship, and who's going to win it next season? If you're interested in signing in, either post on to Martin Van der Noodle on Facebook, or just mention in this chat if you want to. If not, thank you very much for joining us. My name's Alex. This is Max Verstappen Division, hosted by Lights Out League Racing. Peace out.